What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Today we are going to be talking about something that actually just dropped. I just heard about it a couple of days ago, and I decided to actually make a video on it. That I'm talking about is actually Mass Effect Andromeda news. Now, in case you didn't know, just give you a bit of a background on me. I am a huge Mass Effect fan. I got Mass Effect 3. I got Mass Effect 2, if you can actually see that. Where's Mass Effect 1? Mass Effect 1 is actually digitally on my PlayStation 3. They do have the collection. I actually might get it. But, of course, they're going to remaster these things. So you can never really tell when you're going to really waste money. But that's no here nor there. That trilogy's done. We're going to shove them off to the side because they don't really matter right now. Today, we're going to be talking about some rumors that actually just came up about Mass Effect Andromeda. Like I said, I'm a huge Mass Effect fan. And the way we're going to do this, unlike my reviews, we're going to put these things into two categories. Bullshit and truth. And if they're bullshit, would you like that bullshit to be true? If that's truth, would you actually like it to not be true? So it's a bit confusing, bit of a mental thing, but I know you guys are smart enough to actually follow me. So let's break this up. I have to write these things down because it was actually quite a bit. If I'm looking down at the page, that is why I'm looking at this. Sometimes I can't really remember all these things, but stay with me. I think we could get through this. The first thing is, you can still have two squad mates. Now, I don't have a problem with the two squad mates. I think that is truth. But, maybe it could be three squad mates. Sometimes these squad mates are not necessarily the best of the best. Sometimes they're great. They can actually do some damage. Other times, even when they upgrade it, they can still just stand there and be nothing. So maybe better, AI, maybe, who knows. Do I think that's truth? I say truth. But, add a third one, just for the kicks. You should choose how many squad mates you actually want. I think that would actually be better. If you want to, great. If you want one, great. If you want three, choose three. I say choose up to at least three squad mates, in my opinion. That's just what I think and what I've seen. The next thing we're talking about, apparently all squad mates comes with a jetpack so that they can help you explore. When I read that, for some reason, it seems like, and by the way, this leak is coming from Reddit. This is leaked gameplay, just to give you a heads up. Go to Game Rant. That's where I heard my news. Just type of Game Rant. Go to Gaming News, whatever. Yeah, well, not whatever. You get my drift. But yeah, you can still your mates can come with jetpacks. That sounds foolish to me. Just to help you explore. I don't know. Throwing a jetpack in there just kind of seems like something. For some reason, when I read it, I thought about Sean Connery and Thunderball with the jetpack. For some reason, it just seemed like a very goofy thing to me. So what do I put that in? I call that bullshit. You hear me? I just stamped it with my approval. Now let's move on. Would I want that to be true? Not a chance. Well, it would be cool to have a jetpack, but at least from my vision of the previous three, jetpacking doesn't necessarily seem like it would make a damn bit of sense. At least not in this game. But who knows? It's a new trilogy, so anything can happen. The next thing is the Omni tool can actually it's more upgraded and it can actually have a combat shield. I'm guessing that's a big step up since from Mass Effect 3 all we had was that Switch Army knife that was coming out, can opener. So my opinion is, if it has a combat shield, great. But technically, don't we already have shields? So, I'd say it's kind of in the middle, The N7 armor is pretty much just a shield to begin with, Shepard's clearly saying, my shields are down, I'm bleeding out, mainly because, his shields are down, So having a combat shield is pretty much his armor. To me, was it bullshit? It's kind of on the fence here, but in a way I say kind of bullshit. But if it isn't, then sure. Better than a Switch Army knife, as I said. Also, the character creation is more detailed. Now, one thing I noticed, no matter how many times it is, every time I played Mass Effect 1, every time I've seen people's walkthroughs, and maybe this is just me, and I don't have the patience, or maybe not, but every time I create a Commander Shepard, for some reason, it does not come out the way I want it to look. It looks either butt ugly, it is very hard, it's the most difficult thing since building Rome. And the most difficult thing since building Rome is creating a good-looking Commander Shepard. It can't be done. And the first one, other than the default look, that is all you can possibly do. So do I say better character creation? I say, you're damn right it better be. So I say truth. Do I want it to be true? Absolutely. Because as I said, the character creation, even though, it was great and whatnot, it was definitely not Mass Effect's strong suit. The upgrading, sure. But the character creation, no. Better hairstyles also. Let's get some of that. I was getting tired. The only look I ever had was a military look. Because that seemed like that was the only one. Anybody had like that fade That was pretty much the best thing I thought was there. Another thing is, apparently cover is destructible. If anybody's seen Uncharted 4, they showed the destructible environments and whatnot. That was cool. So if that's a new thing, cover is destructible thanks to the Frostbite engine, from what I'm hearing, then great. Sure. Is it truth? Maybe. Do I really care? Not really. Destructible environments is a gimmick. Sometimes people focus on it. Sometimes they don't. It is what it is. But honestly, I could care less about it. So, just the throwaway power. It's not. I'll make a new power just for that one. There is no Normandy, from what I'm hearing. Now, remember, these are just rumors. These could all be bullshit. This could not. But I'm just telling my opinion on it. Now, if there are no Normandy, now granted, the main character is wearing N7 armor, so he is part of that same thing as Shepard. But is there going to be a Normie passed down for person to person? No. Do we need a new ship? Sure, why not? Let's come up with a new ship. There's different things out there. Obviously in Star Trek you have the Enterprise, and then Star Wars, Millennium Falcon, and other things, whatnot. So let's get different ships. Let's get something a bit more smaller, for a smaller crew. I like to see that, in my opinion. So do I think no Normandy? I say truth. Do I want it to be true? Sure, why not? Like I said, I make this more of a smaller story. Sometimes small stories make you care more for the characters. Since it's a new trilogy, make it kind of as small as possible for these groups of characters, where we can actually care about these people. Because if we don't, then, well, all we're going to say is, well, there's no Shepard, there's no Ashley, there's no Liara, there's no Tally. It's just going to be comparisons to all these people, and that's not what they want. They want us to move forward. You heard the teaser. We could look in the past, but we can also use the past to go into the future, looking forward. So, yeah. No, Normandy. Leave it. It had its time. How many times is it going to get, broken? Let it go. Just let it go. No singing. Apparently, we can actually potentially, customize the Mako. The Mako, okay, for a second I was confusing the Mako with the hoverboard thing from Mass Effect 2. The Mako's a classic. Now, granted, the Mako is the most clunkiest piece of shit vehicle I have ever driven in any game, and I'm talking about any game on Earth, any game from this galaxy, any game, whatever it is a shitty vehicle. But for some reason, it's kind of like that toy. It's kind of like that toy that you loved as a kid, even though it was loose. It's kind of like one of these guys, as old as they get, as loose as they get, you still treat it because you had them good memories with it. And, damn it. I really did try to get up some of them hills, Mass Effect 1 with the Mako. It was like the little engine that could, But we could potentially customize it, black and yellow, I guess. I don't know. Any color is good enough. Let's do it, Any color, add some torpedoes, pimp my Mako. Let's make that happen. Apparently one of the antagonists is going to be a human soldier with similar armor to the main protagonist. Now, if this is true, then sure, I guess. Pretty much the last few villains have been, aliens. Obviously, the Lucid Man was human for the most part. So, I guess, sure, one of the antagonists. But don't let this human soldier be kind of a lackey. If he's the lead villain, then hopefully his motives are reasonable, and not just kind of like thrown together. Like certain people, But hey, if he's a former soldier that they kind of, let's say like this, right? Maybe this is the plan. Maybe the former soldier actually knows the main character, and when he was actually on his crew at the very beginning, let's say this is fast forward, rewinding the flashback, that guy actually was left on the planet to die. Therefore, whoever was on that planet was a villain or whatever, alien villain. He saved that guy that was left behind, and now he's getting revenge on the main character that we play as. So who knows? Do I think that's bullshit? Not really. But if it follows that plan, pretty much it could almost be like, if anybody's seen GoldenEye, you probably have, but if you've seen GoldenEye, 006's story, like that. Make that happen. Space 006. And get Sean Bean to play him so he can die. The Galaxy map. Apparently players can actually manually fly the ship. Now this is one of the main things that I think a lot of people actually wanted for this next Mass Effect, and I wanted it myself. We wanted to fly, the Normandy. Who didn't want to fly the Normandy? Flying, a little bit of a battleship version toy of the Normandy, dodging Reapers in a very slow fashion, just didn't hit the mark for me. I know it didn't hit the mark for most of these people. If it did, then great. If it didn't, then you're in my camp. You're in the same camp as me. I didn't like B-14 Normandy ship. It just wasn't good enough. But yeah, flying a manual ship, we could, if it's, if we're having, dogfights in the air with the damn ship, then bring it on. That'd be awesome. Apparently the main character is called a Pathfinder. I'm guessing that is a bit of a nickname, kind of like the Grey Warden from Dragon Age, also Bioware's thing, and also the Inquisitor from Inquisition. So if that's the case, I'm guessing he may or may not actually have a name. There was some leaked thing a few days ago, or a week ago, showing the character's like dog tag that may or may not be the main protagonist's name. I don't know if that's true, but for this thing, if he's called a Pathfinder because he's the guy that's exploring these worlds and whatnot. Do I say truth? I say maybe. The last few games, as I said, they got the Grey Warden, they got the Inquisitor, so that kind of makes some sense. So I say truth. Right now, at least from these rumors, the only things, just kind of give you a recap of what I did. The only thing I really said was bullshit was mainly the jetpacks, and that's kind of it as far as I'm concerned. I didn't really care for the destructible environments. Everything else, I said truth. Well, also, and I said bullshit to the combat shield. You have shields, just looking at the time. You have shields, already. You have armor. Why would you want more combat shields? It just wouldn't make any sense unless they're going to be regular soldiers with no armor in general. But that's not the case since we saw the trailer. That is what it is, and what it is will be bullshit. That's my thoughts. These are the rumors from Reddit, the leaked gameplay. And I got something for you people. One, I'd like to thank everybody that has been commenting and subscribing. I just want to say thank you. Winston Matthews, if I got that correct, I said I was going to give you a shout out, and I'm giving you a shout out. Etta Nick, congratulations. Thank you very much. You two guys were the last two guys that I saw subscribe, and I just want to say thank you. For these Mass Effect rumors, if anybody's a Mass Effect fan, comment. Let me know what your thoughts were on this video and what you thought was actually bullshit or not. If you didn't read the thing, just go to Game Rant. It's right there. And yeah, my name is Chris Smith. Comment, subscribe, like that shit. And if you don't, then well, it is what it is, and what it is would be fine. We'll move on. Because I should go.